I'm Jaimie Mueller, the new Director of Education for Quilts Incorporated, and today we are here with Jaimie Davis, who is one of our 2026 International Quilt Festival Houston teachers. How are you today, Jaimie?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Great. So we are so blessed to have you this year as one of our teachers. Give us a little bit about your quilty background. How long have you been quilting and educating for that matter?
I started quilting when my oldest son was 1 year old,
Oh,
and my husband was going down to law school in Eugene. We were moving away where I didn't know
wow.
anybody, and I
Wow.
knew that he was going to be studying for 3 years, and I was going to need a project. And I wasn't sure what that was, but I had been to a meeting with a woman prior to us moving down. After the meeting, she invited us all into her kitchen to have like cookies or whatever. And so I was walking past her dining room table to get into the kitchen, and there was a landscape quilt on the table. And
Oh.
I'd never seen anything like that before. I always thought quilts were like the things that you put on your bed that your grandma made. And frankly, I
Mhm.
wasn't very interested, but this really blew my mind. And so when I was down in Eugene for law school and needed a project, I thought back to that woman and I just thought, she was such a neat woman. And I really wanted to be a quilter more because of her than because of the quilts, but that quilt really roped me in. And so I bought a
Love
book and
it.
I taught myself how to quilt. I even hand quilted my first quilt. It took 4 months, and I do not recommend teaching
Oh,
oneself how to hand quilt. That was hard. But it was such a lovely thing. And I finished that quilt, and there was one day where I had nothing to do, and it drove me crazy. And that is the only day since I began quilting that I haven't had at least one project going on.
oh,
So
Jamie, I love that.
it was
Oh,
fun.
you got addicted early.
I got addicted early, yes. And then we moved back from Eugene and I started teaching. So it was in my 20s when I started teaching. I've been doing this for a really long time and it's been a huge blessing in my life. I've loved the people I've met, the things I've learned, the places I've gone. It's been really fantastic.
Oh, I love it. I think we were talking a little bit before we started filming that, it's an addiction and it's so therapeutic. Like
It
it's a
is
healthy addiction sometimes. Um,
maybe not
I
cheap,
mean,
but very healthy.
my bank account because of all of these things, maybe not so much, but it's such I think everyone needs an outlet, especially
Definitely.
today. I mean, I know life's always hard no matter what year or decade we're in, but I think, everything out in the outside world is scary and beautiful all at the same time. And whether you're a child or an adult, we all need an avenue in which we can express ourselves, which we can, it's very in my personal experience, it's very therapeutic. If I'm struggling and just, let me go in my sewing room for 30 minutes, even 20 minutes, whatever you have that available that time. And it helps me clear my head and really brings me back to who I am.
I agree with that. And when I was a young mother, when I started, it was lovely to have something that stayed done during my day. With all
Mhm.
the other things that went on with my young family, it was a
Mhm.
really great thing for that. And two, when my brother passed away, it really helps me through the grief process. So there's never been something in my life that hasn't been enhanced because I'm a quilter.
We are keeping you busy this year at Festival.
Yes.
You've got, let's see, I'm going to name them all correctly. So we have digital drawing for quilters, which is one of your classes. We have hand quilting, which is one of your classes. And then illuminated letters and midnight garden. We've got you for 4 classes. And then you're also participating in our Friday morning sampler, which if you're new to Festival, we have a sampler every year, and it's roughly about 20 artists, all experts on different areas in the fiber arts community. And it's basically just a big demo alley. So there are different sections so you'll be there, Jaimie will be there with her little setup and then giving 15 to 20-minute demos. And then it gives the attendees the opportunity to go from teacher to teacher, expert to expert, and learn in a really brief way a different technique. So if you've never been to Sampler, it's a great way to get a lot of things at one time. And it
Oh,
lasts
it's
for three
crazy and it's
hours.
fun and it's a really fun activity. I really like doing sampler.
They're fun and it's so interactive and you're able to, firsthand ask teachers these questions that maybe
Yeah.
you'd be a little nervous to in a formal sit down class.
Yeah, it's very informal. People come and go and they can come up and see your stuff. They can ask you different questions that maybe you have addressed in your presentation. It's a really neat way to get your your feet wet, I guess, with a lot of different techniques, and I like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, and then, okay, last but not least, you're also giving us a lecture on how to build a landscape quilt. So
I am, and the
tell us a
landscape
little
quilt
bit
behind
about
me.
those.
Yeah, so I came to quilting really from the math and science world. I've never thought of myself as an artist, yet I love the artistry of quilting. And I thought, maybe I don't have to be born an artist to do this. Maybe I can find like a back way in. And so
Sneak in
that is what
here.
I like to talk about in my landscape quilt. If you don't consider yourself a natural born artist, here's a way to be able to make a landscape quilt, from the ground up,
Yeah.
basically. And I really like that. So it's a fun lecture. I show my process from the very first one I made, which was a little, iffy, and how I
All of our
solved the problems.
first
Yeah.
ones are iffy.
Yep. Yeah. And so I like to kind of come at it where, you don't need to learn how to draw. Instead, we can learn how to trace. And then this is how we can put things together. And it's a lot of fun.
Ooh,
So hopefully
awesome.
very approachable for people who love to do that, but really are intimidated by the drawing aspect of it.
Oh, okay. So tell us a little bit about some of your other classes. What can we expect in those?
Let's start with hand quilting. Hand
Sure.
quilting, if you want to learn how to quilt like our grandmothers did with the beautiful fine tiny stitches, that is what I'm going to teach you how to do in this class.
Love it.
And it's only a 3-hour class, so you're not going to become an expert in that 3 hours, but you're going to get a real solid understanding of how you make the stitch, how you can make them even, how you can make them tiny, how to start, how to stop, how to skip around. We'll talk about all sorts of things. We'll talk about the tools we use, for success, the best things you want to
Mhm.
do. It's a really fun class. I will prepare a quilt top for every student. It'll have a pattern drawn on it. We'll quickly sandwich it in class and then we'll go. And it's just a lot
Ooh.
of hands-on and it's a fun class.
And there's nothing, I mean, I long arm, I love machine quilting, but there
Yep.
is nothing, I have a special place in my heart for hand quilting. There is nothing like it. And I grew up under my mother's quilt frame. She's still to this day hand quilts.
Hand quilts. Yeah.
She spends at least, she's very disciplined. She each morning hand quilts. She has always has a quilt on her hand quilting frame in their kitchen with all the windows that look out into her backyard, and does
Oh,
it every
beautiful.
morning. It's like it's part of her devotional in the morning.
I think it's true. When you're working with your hands quietly, it really centers you and
Mhm.
it really helps me to just come back to me. Sometimes the world is crazy, and having something that's so tactile is such
Mhm.
a lovely thing.
Oh, I
So
agree. Oh, well, that's going to be a great class. I can't wait.
it'll be fun. Digital drawing is a very, very opposite side of this scale. It's a
Sure.
new thing and it's a computer class. And we are going to learn, like, if you have ever wanted to design your own quilts, if you are a quilt designer and you want to make patterns and publish them, if you want to design your own quilting, your custom quilting, if you want to, you're a teacher and you want to improve the quality of your illustrations for your handouts, whatever you want to do, even if you're not a quilter. I've had several people not who are not quilters in that class who just want to learn how to draw digitally. It's a really great class.
Hmm.
So I use a free program. Free is my favorite price.
I
It's
know. I
called
love it.
Inkscape.
Yeah.
But this is more of an advanced class. You will need to download the program onto your computer and then upload the project into the program. And if you can do that by yourself, you're going to be fine in the class. But I really do need people to have be fairly confident on the computer to come because we are going to be I want to concentrate on the drawing aspect alone
Not
and
getting to that part.
not getting to that part. I love people to come in. I love it when people don't know anything and want to learn. And I never want to um, have those people not feel like they can come. And this is a really great way for those people to be able to come and learn something. Because when I started to draw digitally, all of a sudden my creativity just exploded. It was a really, really neat thing. And it's been a huge help in all that I do.
Oh, I
So
love it.
good class.
And I think, good or bad, digital is not going anywhere. And
No,
we're
but
relying on it more and more. So I
it
think
has so many good connotations. Like I can draw something on in the program and it's an SVG file, but guess what? My Cricut takes an SVG file. So I can send that over and have it cut out all my freezer paper pieces. I do a lot of
oh,
applique.
what a great
I know. And then I
idea.
can add a 1/4 inch seam allowance to all those freezer paper pieces, and then I can put my fabric on there
Oh,
and it'll
so
cut all that
smart.
out too. And so, as I grow older, my fingers don't enjoy cutting as much as they once did, especially with scissors. And so I like to be able to
Yes.
do that.
Yeah.
So it's really endless what this can do for you. And it's a really fun class. So, and there's a few basics. There's a lot of tools you can use in Inkscape, but there's only about 5 to 10 that we use all the time. And I'm going to teach those. And by the end of the class, it's so fun when people come in, they're like, where's this and what's that? And then by then they're like, oh, no, no, you need to use this and the other. And they're teaching each other. And it's really fun to see how quickly people can learn how to do that. My last two classes are both painting classes. And
Yes.
the first one, I've got a picture of it here. It's Illuminated Letters, and we will paint the letter. I put mine in a frame because it's kind of pretty that way.
Very pretty.
Although there is a project with this, it's really a process-oriented class. We use Tsuki Nico inks,
Mhm.
and there's maybe like 50 or 60 different colors. I don't know. I have all of those colors there, and the students will be able to use all of the colors and
Perfect.
make their project. But really, it's fun to have something to paint as you get used to learning how the materials work. And then you can start thinking, hey, if I want to add a shadow maybe to the inside, I can paint that in, and I want
Mhm.
people to think of what else can I use this for? The other class, however, oh, and before I stop that one, each student will get one letter, comes with the class. The letters are all on my website. You
Perfect.
will link to that, I'm
Yep.
sure, at the end of this. And if they want more letters for $2.50 each, they can order more letters for me and I will bring them to them in class. And that
Oh,
way they have
perfect.
some to take home. So that's really fun. The
Which
other
this would
class,
be great for
however,
gifts, which
they
now
are.
we're talking in June, but the classes
I
are
know
in
Christmas comes
November.
up really
So
fast.
great.
Yeah.
This would be great for Christmas gifts.
Yeah, they are really great. They're fun. The class is a 4 hour class. Some people finish in the 4 hours. Not everybody does, but you'll take home a little palette with all your paints on it. And so, you can finish in your hotel room if you're staying to
Oh,
attend
awesome.
a festival, which is fun,
Mhm.
or, whatever. That is really great. The second one, let me kind of hold this up really
Yeah,
quick.
please.
This is called Midnight
Yes,
Garden,
I love this
and
one.
we can kind of get an idea of what it is. We will focus in class on the dragonfly. And that is, so this is more of a project oriented class, and we're going to do
Sure.
the dragonfly in class. The greenery though, all the flowers and everything around, those are all painted fabrics too. And dyeing is really a great way to get fabric, but the paint looks different on fabric, I think, than dye does, and it's
Hmm.
more vibrant, and it's kind of a fun way to go if you need a specific color or value that you just cannot find on the market. Or
Right.
in this case, I really wanted something that really balanced out what was going on the inside.
Hmm.
So we're not gonna actually paint those things in the class. We won't have time for that, but I'll have all the materials there and we'll talk about that. But the project's is just a fun little project that we can then, after we get done, it's on PFD fabric. We can
Hmm.
cut it out and then applique it onto a background, either by machine or hand or however you want to go.
Oh,
So
awesome. I love it. Oh,
yeah,
so
it's a lot of
finishing is
fun.
left up to you, whether you like handwork or machine work. You can do it both.
Yeah, and I am a person who likes a lot of options, so I like to give that to my students. You can
Oh,
do it
that's
this way or this
wonderful.
way or that way or however you want, but here's, what we're gonna do.
Oh,
So
that's wonderful. These are going to be great classes. I'm so glad you're offering them.
it's so relaxing. I have a friend, I have to tell a story about her. So I have this friend that I go to lunch with every Tuesday. We've done it for like 20 years. She's a great friend, not a quilter. So it came time
Not yet.
I was making my Illuminated Letters class,
Mhm.
and I wanted to test it out on friends just to kind of see how it went before
Mhm.
I taught it for students. So I invited her to come over and she brought some of her daughters and I had some other friends and we just painted and had a really good time. Well, a couple years passes by and then she tells me, she says, I hate art. I'm the worst artist and I hate art and it makes me really angry. But when I took that Illuminated Letters class, it was so relaxing. I almost felt like I'd had a spa
Oh,
day by the time I got done. And I was like, Oh, thank you.
What a compliment.
I know,
I
I know.
love
And if
that.
I would have known she hated art, well, doing it, not seeing it, I would have
Yeah.
never like forced
Would
that
have
upon her.
invited
But
you over.
I know, but she ended up having a really great time. And so I love that. And it is coloring and painting are really relaxing. So
And
fun
it's so
class.
therapeutic. This is
Very
that's
much.
awesome. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, now I have a hard question. It's kind of
Okay.
like picking your favorite child. I've asked every teacher, what is your one favorite quilting sewing tool notion?
I would be the Inkscape program.
Ah,
It
good
would be.
answer.
That has solved so many problems for me and helped me out on so many levels. I love the creativity of the designing of the project itself.
Hmm.
And I love how I can put things in different layers and turn them off and on and, see without having to commit to making something, what something's going to look like. And
Sure.
yeah,
Oh,
I
I
think
love that.
that has got to be the tool I use most. It's not sewing necessarily, but it
Yep.
enables my sewing in really neat ways.
We are so blessed to have you as part of our faculty this year, and I know attendees there's something for everybody.
There is, and festival is so much fun. There's just such a good vibe there, and it's just lovely to be with so many people that love to do what we do. And I will come every single year you'll have me. I love it. Yeah.
And then where can everyone follow you on social media? Give us your website. Where are you most active?
I am at Loopy Tulip Designs.
Oh,
That's
perfect.
LOOPYTULIP Designs
I
on
love that.
Instagram.
You're so cute.
Facebook, I am not a Facebook person. It always makes me grumpy.
I
So
get it.
Instagram is where I live. My
Okay.
website is loopytulips.com.
Hmm.
And there you can contact me if you have questions or want to order letters for the classes or whatever you want. So, and I do have
Yeah.
a YouTube channel too, and I'm again at Loopy Tulip Designs there. So,
Awesome. Well, this is so great. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today, and I just
you.
can't wait to see you in the fall.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. Thank you so
Yes.
much for your time.
You're welcome. Have a fabulous day.
Thanks.
Bye.